Hello. Okay, I'm clicking this thing. Don't mind me, just need to sync the audio with the video. Click. Okay, highlight, unhighlight, highlight, unhighlight, highlight, unhighlight, highlight, unhighlight. Okay, thank you. If you're still with me, I have to sync audio with the video. I'm recording both separately, different computers, because Macs suck. If you get a Mac, it's not easy to record audio. Well, that's one of the issues. The other issue is if you have Luna, it's not easy to record vocals without opening your wallet. So, GG Ableton, free plugins. So I have Chrome. Sorry, I'm just trying to gather my thoughts. So, as you see on my screen, I have Chrome, and I have Firefox, and I have something else. I have two monitors, you can only see one. Just like last time, the previous videos. Just like this 11/21/21. Most previous video. Today's 1/5/22 something. And it's been a while since I've made an actual video update. And I've done a lot. So, in this video, 11/21/21, SongCreator didn't have a version in it. If you look at the video, SongCreator. And I'm going to show you what I have today. You're going to see some changes. So, I guess I could minimize this. Start here. So, there's several things going on. You'll notice, first, I have GitHub. It's private. You can't see it. As long as I don't show anything I'm not supposed to. See? Locked. Private. I have pushes dated every update. Every time I made an update, I dated it. And in this instance, I have comparing branches between the last update I showed, 11/20/21, to the previous update I have 1/4/22. And for fun, for the lulz, I'm going to waste your time and waste mine and go through every 69 commits title. And I'll show you something you're not supposed to see either after that. So, let's go and waste your time. Let's see. November 25th, 21, bug resolve. November 27th, tempo for time signature. Ooh, what does that mean? I won't show you because it's private. Next up, icon image, more GUI. What does that mean? Well, I'd show you if I could. And, well, there you go. If you don't mind seeing my other crap. Python. It says Python because I'm running Python, but if I run it as a separate exe, it shows up as SongCreator. So look at Python. I made an image. Look at that. So that's what it means. Icon image. More GUI. Look at this image. Next. Gotta catch my breath. November 28th. Priority for each arrangement. What does that mean? I'll show you. Probably already know about it. Missed a spot? Yeah, we all missed a spot. Brainstorming fret movement. Next up. Time signature bug fix. There's going to be a lot of bug fixes. After that, this is December 5th, by the way. Prevent infinite while loop. If you look at any of my code, which you can't, you'll notice that I love while loops. We'll get there later. Stupid Ableton, get rid of it. You're going to have to ignore that. Okay, next up. Oh, by the way, this screen isn't supposed to have a taskbar, but we're past that point. December 6th, bug fix. December 12th. Change tuning. This was a big update. I've had to import a lot of stuff and get more. So I imported OpenG tuning and what's the other one? Drop D. And by imported, I mean I had to import 1200 scales for both. So 4400? No, I can't math. You get the point. It's actually, excuse me, 1200 times 2, not 4400. Whatever that number is, I can't math. And there's that many scales on top of each standard having another 1200 on top of that. So, change tuning, big deal. It'll change the notes because of course, you change the tunings, it changes the eligible notes. The eligible frets. The frets positions change if you detune the string. Duh. Next up, December 12th, 2021. Scale ripper to adjust tuning first. What does that mean? I can't show you. Next thing, typo. Added tuning per arrangement. That's a big deal. You could have Okay, that's more tuning. Never mind. Yeah, per arrangement now. You could have a lead as standard, a rhythm as open G, and alt lead as drop D, because I want to do that someday. Next up, added hammer-ons and pull-offs. This is interesting. I could demo that later. December 13th, various improvements. Clean up comment. Lol. You'll notice if you look at the code, which you can't because it's private, you'll see a lot of the comments I made. I love comments that you can't read. Next up, December 12th. Oh, stupid Ableton. You're going to have to ignore this in the video. I'm not going to deal with you. December 12th. Oh, I could force. No. Why can't I force? Forget it. Because December, I lost my spot somewhere. December 18th. Let's go there. 1218, blah, blah, blah. Change note priority. Yeah. Measure contain note configuration. Whatever. 8/16th in a row total. Measure count for length. Debug fix. I found a fix on how to correct that setting for something I'll show you later. Maybe, if I remember. Adjust note length calculation. Well, more note behind the scenes and how notation is calculated and what notation I want to put on the measure. Also, big updates. Took a lot of work. You'll see a lot of rhythm changes. I rewrote how rhythm was working, and that at first I did one note and then I did another loop for the second note. This time I changed it to do both notes in the same kind of calculation, and also do a third note. I'll show you later. Blueprint for 3-note chords. Bam, look at that. It took a lot of work. Working on 3-note chords, I told you, took a lot of work. December 19th. Less broken, but still broke. The rhythm chord 3 string is a mystery. Not anymore. I solved it. Rhythm bug fixed. I told you, I'm working on it. And I don't get what's wrong. That's part of the process. You actually have to bang your head on the screen until it works. December 20th. 3-note chord fix. I told you it's a big deal. And there's another fix. Look at that. And definitions. Oh, what do I mean by definitions? You'll have to wait and see. Power chord. Oh, maybe that's a hint as to what definitions is. 654 power chord. Could that be strings? Maybe. Definitely not frets. Okay, added chord variations. 20 to 21, whatever. December 21st, 2021. Added chord variations. You'll see I added functions to define the chords. Blah, blah, blah. Another chord. See? Oh, and another bug fix for chord. And another chord. But I see that there's still a bug. Because rhythm, this was a big update. Rhythm chords GUI. What could that mean? I'll show you later. Prevent accidental duplications conflicting with intended pattern chords. Counts. This means that if you have... Oh gosh, this is a whole big deal, this all 3-note chords is. Because, for one thing, there's another thing I'll mention later if I remember. But this one thing is, let's say you have 3-note chords, and you have a pattern. Your pattern is set to 2 patterns, and then you change to another chord. Well, what if that chord that you're changing into is the same chord that you're on now? That throws off the counter. Technically 2 is not equal to 4, so you have to prevent that. Say, okay, if the current one you're getting next is equal to the one that you had previously, no, you got to find a new one. Okay, next, December 22nd, chord prevent unexpected pattern fix. Well, it's just the same thing of above. December 28th, double check me. Oh, oops, see, I needed to double check. Oh, fix again, I needed to triple check. Chords images GUI. What does that mean? Oh, this was fun. I had to I gotta speak right. I had to go through multiple versions. Okay, December 29th. Oh, I hit my tooth on the microphone. December 29th. Rhythm chord reduction fix. I gotta look into that. What that means. Error prevention. Prevent intended rhythm pattern. Yeah, that's it's a pattern of my commits. All right. Rhythm pattern fix. Yeah, December 30th. Configure measure priorities. Better size GUI. Measure notation config fix. Measures priority fix again. December 31st. More chords, better focused frets based on selection separated by something I'll have to show you. So I'm excited about that one. December 31st. Grammar change. Alternate tuning chord requirements and future chord tunings to implement. We'll get there. I never intended a license. I accidentally added a license, but I don't want to have a license because I want this to be private or commercial use. Next, bulk crop A. Well, that is something that I'll have to show you. GUI, chord images. Okay, January 1st. A nest of 4 whiles, error prevention. I had to make a nest of 4 while loops, and I loved it because the third one had to go to the second, and the second had to go to the first. So the child had to go to the grandparent. It's great. Okay, next, January 1st, recursion bug fix. Basically, there's a possible combinations of errors, and I went in and found it. Anytime I found a possible combination of songs, I saved it, and then I generated. I found the error, then I loaded it, and then I try to generate, and I say, hey, error resolved. Good job. Next, January 2nd. Display length of time. Yeah, I had fun with this one. Why you press generate if you don't know the length of time between the measures and the time signature and the tempo. The tempo, I had a very fun calculation. I'll have to show you in a bit. I'm actually kind of, if you want to get a hint, look at this calculation. Pause your screen if you want to understand it, or I'll get back to you later. Next, I had to go through 93 to 120 each individually, do a calculation that I'll have to get into later. I don't want to get into it yet. More like calculations. Improve MISC section menu. Require min note length on note to move, bug fix. Last measure correction for max note type in row. Randomize priorities, min and max. Randomize frets, currently focused frets bug. Okay. January 3rd, version 0.1L-alpha, or is that I? That's I. January 4th, rhythm pattern bug fix. Adjustable tempos for all the same time signature. Okay, next. To be careful not to scroll too far in this. Here we go. I'm not going to scroll any further. I just want to see 50 files changed, 6,677 additions, and 1,190 deletions between 11/20/21 and 1/4/22. Next, I'm going to close these, and we're going to get to, I don't know if I want to get to these calculations, but I'll do this real quick. Basically, for this GUI, I'll show you version 0.1JAlpha. And yes, I went through A through J. As you see me earlier, I showed you in the, here, there was no version. So that means I went through A through J since November to today. So look at this. Length, 349. Basically, I took the tempo, number of measures, and I discovered that each tempo has its own strange calculation. So like, for example, 93 BPM is 0.644. And what I mean is 89 measures times whatever, 6.44 equals 349 in length. Basically, that's the key thing. Each tempo, one by one, I had to debug, find this variable. And I found something strange or interesting I'll get into. But yeah, that's how when I changed 93 to 94, this length changed, 94, 95. Because I like to see the length before I hit generate. So, you change to 120. So 193 to 120 is a difference of, what's it? 349 to 258. And then what I found interesting is the interval of like 100 is 333, 140 is 232, that's 30 seconds, and then 180 is 158. So like, I swear this made more sense when I had time to think about it and not just shove it in your face like this. But one thing I did see interesting is like the difference. Let's say you change from 93 is 349. Okay, then you do 94 tempo. Okay, this is 89 measures, by the way. So 93, 89 measures, 349 length. You go to 94, 347 length, difference of 2 seconds. What is strange is the next one from 94 to 95 is a difference of 3 seconds from 347 to 344. Why is that? I don't know. The difference seems to fluctuate between 2 seconds and here's another 3 second. So 95 and 98 have 3 seconds, whereas 96 through 97 have 2 seconds. And then 99 all the way up through 110 are 2 seconds up until, 99 up through 109 is 2 seconds up until 110 is 1 second. Like, that's so weird. Like, if you go through 96, difference of 4 seconds, 344 to 342. 97, 342 to 340. 98, 340 to 337. Oh, wait, hold on. Did I miss that there? Sorry, 98 is actually 3 second difference as well. So if you go to 99, it'll be 2 seconds, 337, 335, 100, 335 to 333, 101, 333, 331, 102, 329, 103, 327, 104, 325, 105, 323, 106, 321, 107, 319. So for all 2 seconds, 107, 317, 108, 318, 109, 315, 110, 3 seconds, 314. And the next interesting thing is, I'm sorry. It's 1 second difference for 110. So if you go 110, it's 314. And then you go 109, it's 315. So why is that? Why is it 2 second difference? Why is it 3 second difference? Why is it 1 second difference? What is this calculation? 0.56, 0.57, 0.56. Why is it 3 decimal numbers? A lot of questions. And so other than that, I had just a lot of updates. I don't unfortunately have the ability to show audio because this is a Mac and I can't record audio, but I can show you some notation visually, some Guitar Pro stuff. So let's go through the GUI quite a bit, eh? Since we're here, let's start with the song section. You notice compared to the previous version, I have not Ableton. Let's get rid of Ableton. Leave in place. Okay. I have song category has same as last time, except difference I have is other than length. Excuse me, I don't want to filter that out. I have a generate subfolder for each key and scale. So last time one folder had everything, but now it's like generating its own subfolder for each key, and then inside the key folder you'll find a scale. So it's a bit more organized. So C Chinese, you'll see ones I organized recently, and I also updated the save file format to include hours, minutes, seconds, so that way you could generate and generate and generate and generate, and it won't replace the file. Instead, it'll make a new one every time. And a new feature, open file after generation. Are you tired of opening your GP5 file manually? Well, now you don't have to. All you have to do is click generate. Next, lead. And I did some, okay, so yeah, last time I don't think I had the priorities in each arrangement here. But this was a lot of GUI change. So look at this. How many variables this is? Try to think. This is a variable, the button. This is a variable input, another variable. And these are all based on configs. So you'll see the lead is a class object. Rhythm is a class object. Alt lead is a class object. They have all these. This is an array. Strings, this is an array frets, this is an array lengths. And there's some configurations for the priority of choosing these notes. This is a minimum, this is a maximum, this is a deduction. It'll be a random between the min and the max, and the deduction will, and it goes through each list having a priority, and it chooses the note that has the highest priority. And what I love is having the lead rhythm and alt lead slightly in sync, but not completely identical. It's not necessarily melodic. It's more so doing the same calculations and having slightly varied results and seeing how they cooperate. And okay, so one thing I'm excited about is that, okay, so you'll notice you're able to check off the frets. Well, I have what's called a currently focused frets area that transitions up and down the fretboard by going through. I could switch to the MISC. Move focus frets every X amount of notes. Require minimum note lengths to move. So every 6 notes, you require a quarter notes in order to transition up or down the fretboard. It's calculations going on and how it determines going up or down the fretboard. And for the longest time, I had the currently focused frets area requiring 4 frets in a row. And that, okay, so if you choose frets 2, that includes frets 2 to 5. If you're at frets 6, that includes 6 to, what is that? 6 to 9, etc. So it's a 3 distance, but it's actually 4 fingers, since you don't count the first finger and you don't count 0. So, for example, so in the previous version, if you didn't have 4 in a row, it would crash because it would say like, okay, you could consider 1 or 2, but what about 3 and 4? Well, in this version, you can it's gonna consider the next eligible fret in and what you have in this array selected or not. So you can like have the 1 transition up to 7, up to 9, 10, and if that makes any sense. So you can press this button and have it like some in between not checked off, and some, you know, whatever you want. As long as the minimum right now is you need at least 4 total. Okay, so also, yeah, the reason why I wanted to separate the priorities between a lead rhythm and alt lead is because in the first album I made computer generated, I shared the priority between each, and I noticed that I want a little discrepancy. I want the rhythm to not be fast, but I want the lead to be fast, for example, when previously they all were completely same setting. So I want to have a little bit of configuration on the priorities, and I will have fun with this. So yeah, so random button, does priorities and all that. Rhythm, same thing. Rhythm, I had to move the patterns up here. The reason why I crunched it all together is because it's a table, and if you make it longer, stretch a little bit, the whole window will be stretched, and I don't want it to be too big at the moment. So lead, rhythm, alt lead have the same formats, priorities, whatever. I showed you a bit of MISC just now, where you could change these settings. Okay, so move focus frets every X number of notes. Right now I have about 2 to 12. I think I recorded around 4 last time, so I bumped it to 2, or I bumped it to 6 by a difference of 2. Not a difference. What is that? Some, whatever. Require minimum note lengths to move is, I did, yeah, this is a list of note lengths. Basically quarter note, half note, eighth note, 16th note, dotted note variations or default variations. Max total of 16th notes in measure is because without this, you're going to see a lot of, well, I mean, depending on your priority, if you have your priority set a certain way, we're going to get priority of 8 notes. You're going to sometimes not want so many in a row, and you just be able to configure this to say, okay, I'll allow X number in a measure total, but I only want Y amount in a row, meaning there has to be something else in between it. So you have that setting for 16th and 8th, just because the goal of this SongCreator is to hit 100% of notes. It's, as in, it's possible to sound fancy without sounding fast. Because if you sound fast, you're one-dimensional junk. So rather play slow with 3 dimensions. It sounds a lot better. And let's go to the next one, time sig. I think I showed you. I think well, actually, I don't think I did. I don't think I demoed this. Actually, I made a picture of this, but I never downloaded a video. I can't recall. I just know that you could have 4 different time signatures. It's up to me how much configuration I want in these drop downs, but I still have to fix some of these because some of these are how do you say? I had to do a lot to get this to work, and that there's a lot of calculation. Like, for example, this every X measure and sequentially in transition. This means, okay, every 10% of measures, every 20% of measures, every 30% of measures, every 40% of measures goes on the number of measures. Every that percentage of measures will transition from the one time signature to the other, either sequentially or randomized, and the transition means that it will carry over the current one. If it's transition, they'll carry it over. If it's not transition, it'll just be one measure that has a different time signature. The reason why I like doing one measure having time signature is because sometimes when you have a long, super fast measure, it's nice to take a rest with the 2-second quarter note and get right back into the 4/4. At least that's what I did when I wrote manually before I got this program to write the songs for me. Next, measures. Lead tuning, E standard, drop D, open G. Rhythm tuning, alt lead tuning. And measures have settings for how it determines to pick the string and frets, in that there's 3 different options. Right now includes 3 options. First option, random. It's random in that there is actually another calculation going on that I have yet to add variables for, where it determines eligibility based on string difference between the eligible string that is looking at from the chosen key and scale in the given focus frets range. Saying like, okay, the prev string, current string, prev fret, current fret. What is the difference of the string of the current string and the next string that it's trying to look at right now to determine if it's eligible to choose? It says, okay, let's make sure there's not a greater distance than 2. I don't want it to jump from the first string to sixth string, at least fast. And I don't want to go to distance greater than 2 frets. I don't always want to go from my first finger to my fourth finger. I'd rather go from my first finger to my third finger. So those are the limitations that I've yet to configure in the GUI. But these configurations right here in measures is, okay, lead notation include random, rhythm, same thing with rhythm, alt lead. And then lead, rhythm, alt lead, include priority, lead, rhythm, alt lead, include prev measure. So random is, all of these are taking on top of what I just mentioned of string and fret, what I just said, like 2 string distance through 3 fret distance. And this is another layer on top of it afterwards where it says, okay, of those lists that are eligible, I want to just pick it randomly. Okay, so that's an option. Pick one randomly from the list. Or the next option is prioritize. I know that I have frets that are larger than 2 distance, but prioritize the ones that are 1 distance. I know I have strings that are greater than 2 distance, but prioritize the ones that are 1 distance. Next, include prev measure. So lead, this will analyze the previous measure notation and get the average. So it'll look at the frets and it'll get the average of what it'll get the string. It'll get the string, the strings that the previous measure, and for lead, it'll look at like I said, the previous strings. I gotta get the average number of string, and then it'll determine, okay, is that string a high, a mid, or a low? And then it'll say, okay, if it's high, then that means this current measure, I'll choose either a low or mid. Basically, you don't choose the same category as the previous measure. And then if you look at the rhythm has another dimension of that, whereas it looks at the previous measure. I forget if it looks at the previous measure and lead or either, but I'm pretty sure it looks at, the rhythm will look at lead at the current measure, and it'll do the same thing. Okay, so if the lead is treble and the rhythm prev measure is bass, then prioritize mid for the current measure. And the alt lead does the same thing. It looks at the previous measure as well as the rhythm and the lead. Actually, so I think the alt lead actually just looks at the lead and the rhythm current measure and picks the ones that those two aren't. Or that's the theory anyway. I believe I was working and debugged it as much as I could. So it's interesting because the reason why I chose that one, include prev measure, is because I noticed that sometimes when I generated songs, the lead, rhythm, alt lead would all have treble in some instances, or all have mid in some instances, or all have bass in some instances. I was just trying to mix it up, because like when you have random, yeah, sure, you have a chance to have of all 3 at once, but sometimes you have chances of having with random you have a chance of having all 3 mixed, but you also have chances of having them all 3 at the same time. So I just wanted to have some variety, intentional difference, where like you could just check off these. It's like, say, okay, I want to make sure that these 3 arrangements don't use treble at the same time. I want treble, mid, and low bass at the same time. I want the 3 differences. So that's configuration there. Next, I'm excited for RC1, RC2. What could that mean? Well, take a guess. What does this mean? If you can't figure it out, then sorry, this isn't for you. Next, RT2. Well, what does that mean? There's more. Basically, well, if you notice in the first batch, whatever you want to call it, I used to have 2-note chords, and it was only a certain amount. I've added some more 2-note chords, but I went and defined every 2-note chord, every 3-note chord, to some extent. So every 2-note chord, every 3-note chord that I personally have experienced with these formations, and I this is a lot of work. I might not even demo this right now. I'm just trying to explain this. Maybe we'll see how this goes. But basically, you can toggle the chords that you want or don't want to be generated, and these pictures do my best to describe the format. So look at this first one. The first one is this one's a power chord. So it's a 3-note power chord beginning at the E string or the A string. This one's what I consider a power chord at the D string because it extends over it. But this one right here, I consider the third one is a bar chord with 3 notes. The next one's like E chord format, E chord right format, but it can transition to different frets rather than just the default fret. This is a D chord format. This is a C chord format. This is the D sus format. But it doesn't relate to the frets as much as the fret hand or the positioning of the fingers, because these frets will differentiate. And this is this chord, and then this is a power chord. This is the other chord. So I'm not going to go. What I call them in the code is the 6/5/4 chord version 1, 5/4/3 chord version 2, or so I call it 5/4/3 chord version 1, 5/4/3 chord version 2, 5/4/3 chord version 3, whatever. 5/4 chord version 1, 5/4 chord 3/4 chord, whatever. I don't have it's because it doesn't how can I say it doesn't I can't even speak, because the fret positioning doesn't matter. How can you say? Does that make sense? So if I can demo, okay, I'm not gonna have the code shown, as like I said, keep saying, but I'm gonna have to try. Okay, what can I demo here? Let's do random. Actually, let's do a simple one. Try not to make it error. Let's just do whatever. C major. Okay, let's do 89. Oh, tempo 93, 89, 349 length. Okay, so I'm going to show. Okay, Guitar Pro is not open at the moment. When I generate, it's going to open, assuming it doesn't error. And let's just do a happy path right now. This is to keep it simple. Actually, hold on. Sorry, let me restart the program. So the settings for regenerate. Let's just leave it this way it is. These are the default settings that I just want to show. Just a current happy path generate. So the file isn't open by itself. Here we go. I don't have audio, like I told you earlier, because the Mac sucks in that aspect. I think I'm way too zoomed in. 1 second. Well, I forget how to. Oh, I zoom out. Whatever. What am I doing? Well, let's see. Multi-track? Yeah. So I don't have audio, but you can see. I don't really know what to show here. I could show a couple things actually. Let's try a couple things. For one thing, let's try. Let's see, how can I have fun with this? Let's try just 3-note chords, see if that works. Get rid of all the 2-note chords. So before I do that, before I generate, oh yeah, I'm also excited about this because the 6 open 5s, 5 open 4, 4 open 3. These are blues chords. I added them. They're new. Okay, so if you notice right now, if you go to the rhythm, you can see all these 2-note chords. And if I generate, this is to be same key, same scale. Let's go to this 2-note chord, generate. There we go. Got rid of all the 2-note chords. Okay, let's see, how can we make this more interesting? Let's look at the lead. Actually, before I get there, let's just change the time signature. Let's do 93, 73, 53, 33. And I just want to demonstrate, let's see, all measures, no, every 10% of measures, let's go randomized, so it won't always be the same. And let's try that. So right now length is 349, generate, length is 530, starts at 93 BPM, 53 BPM. It's random every 10% of measures. You got to do the math on every measure that is. So this long, 93, that's 53, then 53 to 73, measure up to 48 measure. But you get the point. It changes the time signature. Well, this one's a bit long or short, but whatever. Next. I could do the time signatures. I don't know if that's necessary, but it change time signatures. Let's try just the 2/4. So the 2/4 will be, it's randomly chosen. 2/4, there we go, 73 BPM. Where is it? Time sig 73, 2/4. Okay. Let's put it back to 4/4 all. Get rid of this. I'm supposed to do question marks in this version. Okay, so let's make sure that works. No, I broke it. Let me regenerate it. I don't want to get back into the errors. Okay, so yeah, I'm trying to squash bugs. It's a lot of work. Okay, so closed it. Let's go to a more common one. Okay, let's mess with the frets. I didn't get to show you the frets before I did that. Hold on. I just want to show you the frets before and after for the lead and alt lead. So you see the frets 1 through 14 checked, lead, alt lead. Let's look at the frets, alt lead, alt lead. I wish it wasn't so zoomed in. I wasn't zoomed in this much before I made this video, damn it. That's better. So it starts at 4, goes to 1, 5, 4, stays in the same range. I'm trying to get it more. Oh, it goes to 6, 7, down to 1, 2. Damn, it goes up. You know what? Alt lead, let's see the alt lead. Alt lead is 12, goes down to 8, 7, 9, 6, 7, 9, 7, 8, 5, 10, 5, 4, 8, 7. Okay, let's try the measures to have random notation. So let's see what that is. So it starts at 10, 9, 7, 6, 7, 7. Goes at 2, 6, 8, 7, 9, 10, 7. Whatever. Okay, so anyways, let's try if this works. Generate this randomly. Generate this randomly. Look at these frets. Okay, good. It didn't error. Lead 0, 3, 5. Okay, so we're going to look at 18. See 18, 16, 15, 0, 14, 0, 16, 14, 13. Whatever you want to look at. Let's see it go down. So it goes from 13, 14 to 8. You know, one thing I have to figure out with the zeros is how often should I allow an open fret, because it does open fret quite a lot. But anyways, it goes from 13 to 14 to 8, because if you look at here, there's a huge gap from 8 to 13, so it skips all 9 to 12. Then from 8, it goes back to 15, 13, 14. So one thing you'll notice that it's transitional. It either chooses up or down, plus or minus. It doesn't actually bounce from like 0 all the way to, it doesn't bounce from 3 all the way to 15. It'll go from 3 to 5 to 7 to 8 to 13 to 15. So that's just how it's written at the moment. And yeah, so let's try restart the program. Default settings, let's change the priorities to random. See what this generates. I know it's hard for you to see based on this video, not having hands-on, looking at the notes and spending time and looking at it like the way I've been looking at it. So it's kind of hard to freaking demo this, but because most of it's like behind the scenes code, like writing everything up behind the scenes. Like I could show you the GUI, like every time it's the letter J because I had to update every time there was a GUI change, because when there's a GUI change, let's see if I can show you. I had to make this. So I have saves throughout the version. Like this is version 0.1E, 1C, 1B, 0.1A, H, G. And yeah, so the reason why I have to make a version is because when you make a GUI change, when you do save and load, it's going to error out when you differentiate the between versions. Like you can't load, but this version 1J can't be loaded on previous versions because when there's a difference, like I said, I updated the GUI, so that means there is more variables, and if there's not the same number of variables, it just breaks. So luckily a long time ago, fortunately, whatever you want to say, I spent a full day at least writing the save load concept to that it'll be dynamic in that in the future, and such as I've used anytime I add checkbox input field, checkbox input field dropdown, those three types, it'll automatically dynamically include that in saving and loading as long as I organize it by version. So yeah, I'm up to 0.1J. I am sure I could demo a lot more. I'm sure there's things I missed. I have over a month of stuff I've tried to demonstrate, and how long has it been? We're at 41 minutes, and that sounds about right because I've been wanting to demo this for the longest time. Is there anything else I could show real quick? I mean, I tried to show a little bit of the frets. I'm not showing any of the code. I didn't show you lead slides, alt lead. Okay, yeah, I added ghost notes too. Sometimes you'll see ghost notes. That's new. Yeah, hammer-ons, pull-offs. They're not perfect hammer-ons, pull-offs, but you know, they're there. You know, the first version I didn't really use hammer-ons, pull-offs, and it still sounded great to me. For me, it's fine. Oh yeah, so I changed. Oh yeah, I could have more fun. Let's see how crazy it could get. So let's move frets every one. Let's move focus frets every one every note, as long as it's 0.5 in length. What is that? Half note? Something like that. Max total of 16ths and measure is 16. The max number in a row is 16. Let's see how crazy it gets. Max 8 and 8 for 8s. And then let's prioritize the, what is it? 8s. Let's do like 50 to 100 and remove. You could do the math. Like literally you could do the math. Like I don't want to do the math right now, but let's say prioritize 50 to 100 and deduct 20. Let's do that same for all of them. 50 to 100. Let's say between the 50 and 100 deduct 20. So for the 8th, oh, that's not half. I don't want to do that for half. Let's do 8th and 16th. 80. Not the dotted versions, just regular versions. Oh, 80 to 16th? Okay. Alt lead will be the same. 50, 80, 100, 80. Oh, I don't want to deduct by 100. I want to deduct by 20. Okay. Let's try this. So we're gonna expect a lot of 8ths and 16ths, right? Because we prioritize 8ths, 16ths on lead and alt lead, and we change the MISC settings to allow a max number in a row and total per measure, right? Okay, here we go. What do we see? Okay, keep in mind. Okay, let me do a little bit better. Let me deduct this to 20. 34, can't deduct by 20. Okay, 34, that makes 14 that's 20, 34, okay, perfect. I want basically to focus on I'm lowering the priority of every type of note. I'm just grabbing any numbers that's lower. I am not even thinking about this too much. So that's alt lead 27, 43. That's 10. Because I noticed I see more whole notes, whatever else. I just want to lower the priority. So works. Let's see what we get after this. I can't even think what these numbers are right now. Here we go. Well, is this better? I see this right here. Is that progress? Keep in mind, this is 0.1J, which means I still may have a lot of work to do. But it's progress, right? You see this here. See this here. Oh, what are you doing? Let's do multi-track. Oh, it is multi-track. Okay. This here. This here. What else can I do? Let's try. Okay, let's force it. Let's do 1, 10, 5 for etcher. This is you have to do it long ways, unfortunately, right now. Like, it's a bit tedious, but you know, at least it's GUI. Like, the pretty cool thing about this is like I said, I could save this setting, come back to it, and yeah, I save and load a lot once I find an error. Like the error is basically like configuration, so I save it and then I have to load it and debug it. So let's try. Oh, I don't want to mess with the rhythm. Let's do just a lead. So everything that is not eighths, not 16ths, it's going to get 1, 10, 5. So I want to see more eighths, more 16ths. 1, 10, 5. Is that good? Dotted quarter, dotted eighth. Oh, dotted eighths, I want 50, 100. So the eighths will have 50, 120. The 16ths will have 80, 100, 50. No, 80, 100, 10. We're going to force 80. Okay, hold on. We're going to see a lot. 80, 110, 5. We could spend a lot of time on here. You know, I just have so much fun writing this sometimes. Like, the time just goes by. Because I know it's going to make a bitchin' song, bitchin' album, guitars, or stuff for me to record. It's more about designing and writing than it is actually performing and playing. It's kind of like designing. Say 1, 5, 10. Oh, eighth is 50, 100, 20. Oh, wait, why am I doing 20? Let's reduce by 5 as well. Let's do a lot of 8s and 16s. I'm probably going to save this file because it's having fun configuring what this is going to be. Alright, that should be a good start. Okay, we're seeing a lot more, right? We're seeing a lot more 8s and a lot more 16s, right? Look at this. Whoa, look at this. Bet you wonder how this sounds. Okay, it goes back. Am I doing it right? 50, 105, 80, 105, 5. Well, there was one thing that I did change on how the whole priority was done. And, you know, at this point, I can't even get into it. Let's try another one. Bam, that looks like a lot of 8s and 16s. Let's do actually no multi-track. Yeah, it's quite a lot, right? I mean, I think it's working as expected. It's certainly prioritizing. Let me save this. G Japanese. Okay, next, let's do. And we're just going to, since I saved it, it's okay to ruin it. Let's just randomize it back. Randomize it. Don't know what to expect. What are we expecting? Let's see what happens. And who knows what this will even be. It's just random, you know? But look at this. The previous one has 8 notes, 16 notes all over. So I'm sure I could go more detail. I could show you differences between lead, all lead, and whatever. I don't know. I'm freaking tired. This is 49 minutes of me talking. So thanks. I'm freaking tired. Good night. Bye. Sayonara. Get out of my face.